Recording now. So hello and welcome to How to Find Your Wings. Thank you for joining us today. I'm psychic medium Samantha Faye, as you all know. And there is a couple of things that I want to share with you before we jump in. One, I don't have a lesson plan for this. The way that I work is on pure intuition and pure channeling. So I've already been receiving a lot of guidance and information about how to share the information that's coming through for this course. And I'm really excited to just dive in. I also brought my angel answer cards. So we've got those. I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for everybody. The way this is going to work is that we're going to do a few meditations and then kind of come back in and discuss and talk about things. And we'll do a couple meditations and come back in and discuss and talk about things. I prefer to teach you through you learning how to use and work with the energy yourself rather than simply by telling. So I just wanted to reiterate that you are absolutely 100% hands down in the right place if you are here. So a little bit about me and what my journey was into becoming an earth angel, not even becoming an earth angel, but remembering that I do have wings and that they are very clearly connected with me and who I am and the path that I'm on in this lifetime. That there are some very distinct points in my memories and very distinct times during my meditations where I had breakthroughs, and quite literally the breakthroughs were wings showing up behind my back, followed by sometimes intense pain, sometimes excruciating emotional pain of why am I here again? And so the remembering process can be like a rebirth process. I have not known a rebirth process to come without some form of pain. So just being aware that yes, what you are diving into for yourself is going to be probably one of the best and most beautiful journeys that you have ever signed yourself up for. And at the same time, know that yes, it is going to take work. It isn't just something that you can snap your fingers and poof, I'm an angel and I have wings. It's learning how to use them. It's learning how to respect them. It's learning how to work with the energy, and it's learning how to open up deep channels. It's my belief that our memories of who we've been as spirit do not reside in our head, but that they reside in our heart. And so if our heart is closed because we've experienced pain or suffering in the past, then it's really important that we actually give ourselves an opportunity to dive into what does it mean to remember. And we have to move through the pains that have happened in this lifetime in order to be able to find that. So that is what I'm talking about, in that it's not just a poof, there's wings. It's we have to remember by opening our hearts. And for some of us, that can be excruciating. I know for myself, it has been. And that is why I am here today, is because I've allowed myself to go through them and release my fear of pain. Because at the end of the day, the pain is just the pain, and the anticipation of going through it, I can guarantee you, is way worse than anything that you could imagine. The imagining, the idea of what is the pain going to feel like when you actually let yourself feel it, what is going to happen, that anticipation can create way more pain than the pain itself. One of my favorite quotes also is that the only prescription for the pain is the pain. So I know that most of you and most of the people who are registered are in the Intuitive Connection Academy. And so I do encourage you after this to go back and look at, I think it was June, the June theme, Discovering the Beauty in Pain, and doing that meditation and allowing yourself to really dive into it. The worst I've experienced with pain is a really, really, really intense cry. And it can wipe you out for a couple of days just because the energy that you're releasing. But really and truly, that is the most excruciating experience I've had, is just the crying and the feeling and letting yourself feel. But other than that, that's pretty much the gist, which is why for me, I've pretty much eliminated my fear of pain, because yeah, it can hurt, but it's nothing to be afraid of. It's part of our existence, and it's what makes us stronger. So I've got my Angel Answers cards here. These are my favorite deck to work through with myself. They have very cut and dry answers, very clear. And so with these cards, I'm going to go ahead and pick one for, I guess I'll pick one for the group because I actually don't have the list of names in front of me of everyone that that has registered. So I want to make sure that everyone gets covered. So I'll go ahead and pick a couple. One of these cards is going to be for where you are at now, right now. One of these cards is where you are going to be throughout the process of this class. And then the next one is also going to be your next step. Where is it that you are going to be going, and how can we integrate the information received? So I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards, and I'm going to talk about 2 now. There's one. And asking where we're going to be throughout the course of the call. There we go. That one came out nice and easily. And one more for the next step, how to integrate. All right, beautiful. All right, so go ahead and close your eyes. Allow yourself to be within and connect in with yourself, and just do a body scan. Body scanning from your toes to your ankles, to your calves, to your knees, to your thighs, to your hips, up through your torso, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your neck, down up through to the crown of your head. Just noticing what you notice. What is it that you feel? Are there any sensations there that you would like to release? Are there any pain points? All right, and so the card that we're at here, I love this, it's kind of funny, is wait. So wait to see what it is that's coming to you. Wait to see where your expectations lie. Oftentimes waiting is a signal of impatience. So are you on this call because you want your life to change, boom, immediately? Or are you on this call because it's time for you to start gathering the information that you're going to use for a longer period of time after this session? The beautiful thing about the timing of this class too, which I did not plan, but is that we're in the middle of an eclipse window. And so we have the eclipse on Monday, which is a global reset, kind of like hitting the reset button on everything. So what it is that we're working on and working through in this class is going to get a complete purge. And so we have today and tomorrow to continue to process and allow ourselves to continue drudging and drudging and drudging all the stuff that we don't want anymore at all. It's actually a really amazing thing. So this next one that we have for, I love this. This is the one for the period of the class, is get more information. So that's exactly what we're doing here, is we're getting more information. We're learning how to connect with each other, and we're learning what does it really mean to access these memories. If we were all able to access these memories, this world would be so different than what it is now. And that really is why I express to you guys that it's so important to treat this information and your memories with the highest respect. This isn't a parlor trick. This isn't like, ooh, there's a psychic at the fair. This is all fun and games. No, this is legitimate. This is life changing. And this isn't going to just change your life. It's going to change everybody who's closest to you. And it's also going to have a ripple effect beyond that. So being aware and respectful of the information that's coming through, and also taking a look at where are you feeling skeptical? Where are you feeling that your energy isn't being well received from yourself? One of the things that is most important about the work that I do is the power of belief. If you do not believe that you are capable, or that I am capable of doing the work that we have set out to do and that we are saying that we are doing, then nothing will happen. I can guarantee you that nothing will happen. Disbelief it's a huge block, and it quite literally can just keep people numb. So just being able to look at your belief system when doubt comes up, when skepticism comes up, and it will. I still face it. I still feel it. I still hear it inside my head, especially with Become coming up. I'm still in this place of acknowledging, yes, I want more. Yes, I want to grow. And the voice of doubt has gotten so much louder than it has been in a long time. And I know it's because I'm right in front of a huge breakthrough. So for those of you that start to feel, I don't know if you have a consistent personal growth process, but what you'll start to notice is with your personal growth process, you'll start to recognize, oh, here's the phase of doubt. Oh, here's the phase of fear. Oh, here's the phase of extreme discomfort and maybe frustration. And then, oh my gosh, I can't stop crying. And then breakthrough. I know that that's a cycle for me for quite a few. I've had breakthroughs that aren't so emotional, and I've had breakthroughs that are incredibly emotional. So just being able to be aware of what is your cycle, what is your personal growth cycle, how all of it happens, understanding that is going to be a key for you for the rest of your life. Once you figure that out, you'll know that it changes, but you can get in tune with yourself and with your body. All right, so let's go ahead and evoke our prayer. This is a prayer that I wrote on our first retreat with the Earth Angels. And so it's one that I hold near and dear to my heart. And so you all are welcome to use it as well if it feels right to you in your sessions. So let's go ahead and close our eyes. And dropping your grounding cord. So dropping that line of energy from your root chakra all the way down to the center of the planet. Recognizing and knowing that this is going to be your release point. This is what is going to allow the energy to be released from your system, from your body, from your energy body, your emotional body, your pain body, your energetic field around your body. This grounding cord releases any tension, any energy that is not serving you, any and all that does not work for your highest good. So allowing yourself full permission to release fully while you're in this space. I'll remind us throughout this class to go ahead and check in with our grounding cord. So as we call in divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for our How to Find Your Wings group and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. Amen. And so for each of you in this moment, whether you're watching this live with me now or you're watching the replay, go ahead and choose a color for yourself. What is the color that you are going to be today? I'm going to set our class color at a fire engine red. Beautiful. I've also asked the angels to clear the channel of communication with technology. I've asked them to also clear anything that could potentially get in the way for any one of us, to eliminate distractions, to honor and protection. So asking angels to be with you while you're tuning into this class again, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. Setting that prayer in no time, no space. That as we are not in the same physical location, that we may be in the same energetic container. That we may share in this experience, that we may share in this journey, recognizing and knowing also that the light needs to be brought in across the world. So it's no wonder we're not in the same place, that we can bring our light to every place that we go. So what I'm also going to encourage you to do throughout this 3-hour period and beyond is to connect in with your light. that light that resides within your heart, that flame of passion. You're still going, I don't know what my passion is. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know. That's totally and completely okay. You will find this within your heart. The heart has many chambers. Our physical heart has many chambers that it pumps blood through. Our energetic heart has many chambers. And so what it is that we're looking at is how can we release and clear those chambers so that we can experience boundaryless, unconditional love within ourselves that we may share with others. In opening these channels, we give ourselves permission to be able to see ourselves more clearly as a spirit being that we be before taking this body. So go ahead and connect in with your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is the one that lays right there on top of your head. Saying hello to your crown. Go ahead and open and close your crown chakra, much like you would a camera lens. Just go ahead and open and close, open and close. Go ahead and connect that line of energy from your crown chakra all the way up to the center of the sun. Allowing yourself to fully and truly be connected in with our cosmic Father, the giver of life here on this planet. Allowing yourself to melt into that warmth, that anything that does not resonate and doesn't vibrate at that frequency or at that temperature can simply release down through your root chakra in this moment. So go ahead and set an intention for yourself for this class. What is it that you would like to receive for yourself? What is it that you would like to contribute, to share with everyone else? My intention is to hold impeccable space within this container so that each and every one of you may experience your own memories, so that you may experience your own shift. Recognizing, yes, that the key to remembrance is within your conscious mind. Your heart is where we unlock those chambers. You are beautiful. You are so intelligent. And you are incredibly capable of creating exactly the life that you want to live. A one that offers you extraordinary freedoms, extraordinary bliss, recognizing that challenges arise to contribute to your highest and your greatest potential. Sinking in with yourself just a little bit more. What is it that you can offer for yourself in this moment? Bringing in a higher vibrational frequency of self-love. Acknowledging that that vibration of self-love that you are capable of receiving right now is going to increase. So go ahead and look at a meter. I see a meter, however you see it, that goes from 0 to 100. And on that meter, on that gauge, this gauge represents your ability to receive right now. And go ahead and see whatever number it is that comes up first. Looking like all of us have room to receive more than what we have at this point. So acknowledging within yourself, what are the memories? What are the things that have happened in your life that have shut you down and not allowed you to be able to receive? Is it the belief that receiving love equals pain? Or that receiving love equals betrayal? That receiving love means lies or greed? Whatever your truth be, allow it to come forth and just observe what you observe, allowing yourself to stay out of the emotion. Just notice what you notice. That this is a part of your history, but it does not need to be a part of your story. Go ahead and connect in with your grounding cord. Allow that energy to release. Right down through your grounding cord to the center of the planet. Offering gratitude and appreciation to Mama Gaia for allowing each one of us, you especially, one of her children, to be here, to use her resources, to create a life that we love to live. Recognizing and knowing also that as you release through your grounding cord, you continue to fill Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, with new energy so that she may use it to heal herself. So that she may use this energy to heal the planet. Recognizing that Earth is just like our body, and that each one of us as human beings, as trees, as animals, we are cells on this living, breathing organism. And so as we heal ourselves and as we connect in with what it means to love Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, then we bring ourselves to an even closer definition of who we be, to our highest respect and our highest regard. So go ahead and in this moment call on, let's all call on Archangel Michael to start with. I know that most of us are familiar with him and his energy. Even if this is new to you, that is okay. Allow yourself to connect in with Archangel Michael. Ask him to stand with you. Ask him to stand behind you. Go ahead and just invite Archangel Michael to see you in this moment. To see you in your glory. To see you in your essence. To see you fully and completely, including your pain or your shadow. Recognizing that every single part of you is deserving of love. Every single part of you is capable of receiving love, even those deep and dark corners of yourself that you don't like. They are deserving of love. as you increase this frequency within your space, you may open yourself up to receiving a healing from Archangel Michael, a healing that will help to eliminate any and all of the energy that does not serve you. A healing that will set you free from pain and suffering, negative thought patterns, fear, anytime when you have backed down from an opportunity. So let yourself experience yourself in your essence and continue to allow yourself to open to receive this healing from Archangel Michael. And breathe. And breathe. Taking a nice big inhale in through your nose. And releasing down through your grounding cord. That was a good one. Nicely done. All right, and bring again one more inhale in through your nose, filling your lungs more than they've ever been filled, bringing in brand new fresh air to every area of your lungs, all the way to the tippy top. Taking one more sip and sigh as you release down through your grounding cord. We're going to do that 2 more times, bringing in brand new fresh air. So breathing in through your nose, all the way in, filling your lungs all the way up to the tippy top. Taking one more sip of air and making a sound as you exhale down through your grounding cord. And like after that one, we just needed to sit and release. Beautiful. Your awareness to your breath. Acknowledging that this simple action that keeps you alive, inhale, exhale, is innate, meaning you are born with this. This action becomes unconscious to us until we bring conscious energy to it. So checking in with yourself and your ability and your capacity to connect in with your heart space, with your lung space. Your heartbeat is also an unconscious action. You don't need to think about it. Your digestion, your stomach, your intestines, all of this is unconscious, meaning you don't have to think about it. The reason I am bringing this up and the reason I am bringing this into this space is to acknowledge that your connection with your wings right now is unconscious, meaning it exists within you, meaning you were born with this. Your understanding of your wings and what you are capable of with your wings is also innate. meaning it exists within you. So go ahead and remind yourself of your intention. What is your intention for this class? Have you already stepped forward? Have you already made progress to see what you are capable of? Simply notice what you notice. Observe yourself without judgment. And give yourself a moment to breathe, to release, and to acknowledge that yes, your life is about to change. That once you step into this world, there is no stepping back, there is no stepping out. You cannot unlearn what you learn once you experience it. You can choose to deny its truth, but that will only last for a period of time until it comes back, because you're stepping on the path of your purpose. If you know full and wholeheartedly that you are already on the path of your purpose, then you are going to enhance your capabilities of what is possible for you in this life. So go ahead and drop the grounding cord you've been using. And bring your awareness back into the center of your head. Give yourself a nice big giant golden sun of your own brand new, fresh, present time energy. This brand new, fresh, present time energy, allow it to flow in through the crown of your head, down through your third eye, down through your throat chakra, down the length of your spine to your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, and down and through your root to the center of the planet. Filling your aura completely with this golden light, golden sun energy. And when you are ready, you can either lean forward or you can brush off the crown of your head. I usually yawn at this point. And so just simply reconnecting. Hello. Hello, hello. All right, so what I'd love to do is hear from each and every one of you. I'm going to go ahead and unmute. There we go. So, anyone like to go first on seeing what it is that's coming up for you? What it is that you're experiencing so far? And you have my full and absolute permission to be as honest as possible. Let yourself just share what it is that's coming through. Nikki,
I have self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I always doubt myself. I'm a Debbie Doubter.
Well, at least we can laugh about it a little bit. Well, I appreciate you so much for bringing that forward. And I know when I was getting ready for this morning, I was kind of going through my list of people that registered in my head and just connecting in. And there's something really unique and really beautiful, Nikki, I think, about what it is that you bring to the table and what it is that you offer to yourself. Because the energy that you share with us in the Intuitive Connection Academy, in the Daily Sunshine, in all of these places, it's like when you show up with humor, which I personally admire a lot. I would not be here if I wasn't really good at laughing at myself. The self-doubt, really and truly, the only way that I know how to move through that is by doing. I had
Yeah.
extraordinary amounts of self-doubt when I started, and not just doubt, but like atheist doubts. Like, what is this? Knowing that when I was in the meditation classes at the Psychic Institute, knowing full well I was exactly where I was supposed to be, and then at the same time being like, this is crazy. I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell my family for a year and a half after I started this whole journey, because I was like, this is crazy. And that self-doubt, it is going to show up until you just keep working and just keep moving through the energy. Absolutely. But there's no doubt for me in my heart that you're exactly where you're meant to be, especially because you have a wing behind your head. The butterfly.
Again,
Yes.
my whole room is wings.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So exactly, you're in the right place, hands down. So thank you for sharing the self-doubt. What I would suggest is that when you're seeing that self-doubt, and this goes for anybody with any emotion that you can recognize as a block, when you recognize a self-doubt, recognize it as a color. And when you see that self-doubt as a color, you can then create, sometimes I like to do balloons, sometimes I like to do roses. But you can basically create that color outside of your aura and just blow it up and blow it up and blow it up. And when you're blowing up that energy, it's actually dissipating it. It's actually completely transmuting it out of your space. And that is the easiest and simplest way, because you don't even need to go like, well, where does this self-doubt come from? And you can, because maybe when you were a little girl in first grade or something, you had a teacher that had a negative snide comment about some work that you did, and so it just pickles this lack of confidence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we have those experiences, whether it be from our family or our aunts and uncles or cousins, or like people that even just jokingly make fun of us, you know, as we playfully do and can sometimes. But recognizing that all of those feelings and sensations, it's important to clean them out. It's important to clear them out. And so in doing so, we can do it simply by looking at the color. Oftentimes that color will also let us get down to the core, the one incident, that root that is what is holding us back. And there's so much freedom in going beyond that, but sometimes we just have to like let ourselves feel to express and experience what that means. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Beautiful. Leah!
I'll make the color yellow.
You picked the color yellow? Nice. I was at a golden yellow too.
Nice.
I like that. Beautiful. Leah, I'm so glad you decided to join us on video. All right, Nikki,
I'm ready.
For now? All right, beautiful. Leah, what was coming up for you? What were you experiencing?
I feel wonderful now. Thank you just for that meditation. So it was really powerful. I'm so ready for the next step. I'm excited for it. So I'm trying to keep myself open all the time. And so things have been happening. And so I was so ready for that meditation. And what came up for me was lies in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously like, it makes negative talk in my head. So I sent that down my grounding cord and it kept chanting out of me, like getting rid of it. And then I liked Archangel Michael. At first he was gold, you know, on presence. And then as the work was happening, it got really bright white blue light. And he was, I felt like he was helping me face my ugly parts and purge those. And then after that, I started, because I was asking, what is my intention? I really want to get in touch with past memories, past lives, because I feel like, through my programming and self-doubt, I had put up some sort of disbelief or doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I could access those things. So today is all about accessing that, being open to it, allowing it. And so I asked him to help me channel something, anything, And I showed up watching an older version of myself at a lake in the woods. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. Just green, and there's this glistening water, and I'm harnessing white light in my hands, and my hands are kind of like moving around to heal Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, and the animals and the earth. And that's kind of what I saw. And then she turned towards me, the old person turned towards me, showed me the orb of light, and then it burst into blue butterflies. And I was like, that's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. So I wrote all that down. It's hard to remember it.
You wrote it all down?
I did while Nikki was talking. I was like, la, 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 la.
Oh, good for
Yeah.
you. I that is something I could get better at myself. I love that. It sounds and it looks to me like your third eye, it's obviously it's like wide open. I would focus on opening the back of it too, because right now it kind of looks like a cone. And so it can start to get a little bit wonky, and then it can offset your other chakras. So what you're doing a great job of opening it, obviously, and bringing energy through it, but focus also on clearing out the back. Because our chakra system, all of them, we have a front back to all of it. So we want to make sure that we're clearing and cleaning out. Sometimes they're depicted as like two cones. Facing or like with the points to each other. Sometimes they're depicted like that. Sometimes I just see them as a straight like cylinder across, but just playing with that visualization. And one of the things that I like to do is using a gold sticky rose.
Yeah.
We've done this before, but using your gold sticky rose and clearing it out, and you can use your hand or your psychic hand in meditation. Clearing out the crown chakra, your throat chakra. You can do your entire body using that gold sticky rose, and it'll help to open up and clear out any blockages that are happening in the back as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Whew, that's really a release for myself there.
I like that, because I do see my heart chakra as I always see a diamond, so the point, and then it radiates out like that, like. So I thank you for telling me that about both sides. Yeah,
it's really fun when we start to fully and consciously be able to see them, because it's my belief that there is no one right or wrong way. It's the same as like, I used this analogy the other day, but if you teach somebody how to use a marker, how to hold a marker, and then you just say, okay, now here, go for it. And you have no idea what that person is going to draw or write or create. And so it's about just giving the base essential of like, this is what you do with it. This is how you hold it. And then it's off to the races, and not even the races, but it's just up and running, because then all of the information comes in the most beautiful ways. And so that's the beauty of just a collective, is how many different expressions we all have. So knowing that whatever you hear from me, whatever you hear from anyone else, there's no right or wrong. It's all just your experience. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Julie, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you here. There we go. Julie, how are you today?
I'm good. I've been in a very deep, soul-wrenching cleanse for a while now, and a lot of things are really busting loose. Inside of me, I feel like I have a laser light, and so when my mind kind of starts to focus to any part of my body, that light is there before my mind can even get there. So it's like a ping pong or something just bouncing all over, and now it's been bouncing, sort of dissolving and disintegrating all these different blocks. And when we were meditating and Archangel Michael was in there, it was like bubbles were just bursting, and they were just popping, and it was like he was just orchestrating this beautiful release. It was pretty incredible.
Love that. I muted myself for a moment because Loki is going bananas.
Oh, and the color I brought in was magenta.
Oh, beautiful. So can you tell us more about when you were seeing and when you were experiencing the bubbles? What was your body feeling like? What was the physical sensation that was happening to you as you were experiencing those bubbles?
It was like little ties, little different ties and different knots
Mm-hmm.
that have been placed in me throughout, this lifetime, were just being snipped and released. So just all these, I don't know, different cords, things that I've connected, things that I've tied up, things that people have tied on me. And throughout my life, so many people have tried to put a lid on me because I'm too much. When I run energy, I run so much and it's so joy-filled. So a lot of people want to grab that, put a lid on it, and think that they can have it for themselves. So it's releasing and opening that up and realizing that that is my essence and I can embody it and I don't have to let anybody put a lid on it. Even myself doesn't need to put a lid on it. It's who I am. So really stepping into embracing that aspect of myself, it's been good. But out of it is coming such heart-wrenching agony that I'm embracing. I'm no longer running from it. I'm embracing it and letting it come up and be healed. I can't hear you. You're muted.
I said I'm so happy to hear you say that because I mean, I know when you and I met, there was a lot going on in your life. And so to be able to hear you say that you're embracing the path, and it sounds like you're doing so much healing from years and years and years. It's like it's been overdue and it's coming through.
Yes.
Coming through. Yeah, there's extraordinary thing. I'm actually going to encourage you and Leah, because I know we both live in Reno, but I'm going to encourage you and Leah to maybe get together and get to know each other a little bit. Because I know that the two of you have very similar matching stories in past relationships. And some of that stuff that's coming up, I find that it always helps to work with somebody else that's been through it, because you can actually bring it to the surface and be like, oh yeah, oh, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. All these, I am valuable. I am worth it. I am important. And you hear it and you connect with somebody else. And I mean, I have similar experiences myself. And so finding our own value and finding our own worth is so important. But still, as I continue to grow, I still continue to find like the edges of my container, the boundaries of my own box of what is possible for me and what I see as valuable. And so being just simply aware that what it is that we are experiencing, what it is that we are doing here, is uncovering so many of those patterns that have told us we're not worth it, that have told us that we're terrible people, or that we are crazy. That word that gets thrown around to females all the time. It's like, okay, well, if somebody lies to you and you find them and then you get upset, what, then you're crazy? No, that is legitimate. That is a human experience. That is a human emotion. And I think for us as females, even just acknowledging like when we have been told that we are crazy, rather than when we have been told that we are being reasonable. And who's to say what is one or the other, but being aware that in all of those instances, like I was saying with Nikki, is that all of those instances, they start to chip away at us, and they chip away and they chip away and they chip away. And so this is about blasting through all of those chips, blasting through all of that nothingness that we then become, in order to create something that is so much bigger than we could ever see for ourselves. That to me is what is so incredibly important and so incredibly beautiful, and what we can offer not just ourselves, but what we can offer our community, especially of women, because we do have the reawakening of the divine feminine. Again, going back into the Intuitive Connection Academy, the Unleash Your Wonder Woman, that month was about reawakening the divine feminine and balancing with the divine masculine. It all has everything to do with, Julie, what it is that you're saying about uncovering those cords and those ties and those limits, whether they be self-imposed or imposed by somebody else that we then agreed to. Whatever it is, we can allow ourselves to see a little bit more clearly. And in doing so, it's like, now we can breathe easy.
Yeah.
And it does. It's agonizing getting through to the other side. I can full and wholeheartedly understand and agree that that is no good. No good. And the best thing that we can do is to take care of ourselves. I know that my patterns in the past have been incredibly self-destructive, especially with drugs and alcohol, because I didn't think I was worth anything. And so I love to hear that you're letting yourself feel, that you're not numbing, that you're not going out and, you know, doing self-destructive things, doing harmful things, but that you're paying attention to this, because it will change the rest of your life. It will change every relationship that you've ever had, and it will change every relationship that you're ever going to have, whether it be romantic or intimate or coworkers or friendship, it doesn't matter. But there's a lot there for us to dive into and experience within our own pain. That's the beauty. That's the beauty that's inside of it. The other beauty that's inside of it is that when we allow ourselves to go in and explore and feel all of that, we give ourselves, like I said in the beginning, permission to feel those parts of our heart that we never have open. And those are the parts of our heart that is a direct compass that comes from our Creator. However you see that energy, it's a direct energy that comes from our own value of self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance. It's the direct key to our purpose. Everything, I'm sure all of you have heard it, is that everything that you've ever needed or wanted is within you. It's all right there. It's in your heart. That's what I mean. These chambers of your heart. Leah, you said that you see your heart as a diamond, so, or as an emerald or whatever it is, but can you allow yourself to open that diamond? And what is it that is within there? Because even with that, the diamond does have a hard exterior shell. And so looking at that as a metaphor, there's still, it's beautiful, and is it still protecting what is going on inside? And that's the joy of exploring. It's really good to be very curious in all of this. Now, Leah, you also did say something actually that I wanted to address too about being open. Because there are, yes, absolutely. If you're going to dive into this journey, yes, it's important to be open. And one of the things that comes to my mind is I had a friend who had a magnet on her fridge that said, "Let's not be so open-minded that our brains fall out." And it always made me laugh. But also just looking at that, sometimes when we're very open, and we're not fully conscious to the energies that we're working with, we can leave ourselves open to Klingons or beings or attachments or all sorts of stuff. And so when you are just being aware of that when you're praying for openness, and when you're praying or communicating, manifesting that what you want to bring in is new awareness. Be aware that also it's important to ask either Archangel Michael or your own spirit guide to be there with you, to just protect the container. Because our human mind, our conscious mind, can get in the way of knowing what it is that we're messing with. And sometimes it's like, ooh, that feels kind of cool, let's explore that. And then like next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh, why do I hate myself? And it's like, that's not even you. It's another energy that has come into your body from being so open. And so just kind of a little asterisk, small print of just awareness and caution. It's definitely something to pay attention to. All right, Julie, are you feeling complete? Is there anything else that you wanted to dive into?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. So I wanted to share with you all some of the experiences and some of the ways. Hi, Maddie. Some of the ways that that I have found my wings, because it wasn't just a 1-2 step process. And some of the experiences, and like I said, some of the memories, they evoked an extraordinarily painful response. Because once you start to connect in with the angelic realm and the angelic frequencies, you start to realize how dense it is here. It's not always a bunch of sunshine and roses. So that's why these are things I wish somebody would have told me when I started my path, because once you step onto it, yes, there's a million doors open. And at the same time, you feel things more deeply. You feel joy, you feel excitement, you feel fulfillment, and you feel sadness, and you feel betrayal, and you feel hurt, and you feel lies just as deeply. And so that's what can be really intense. For me, I don't know if you guys watched it the other day, just addressing the current events, but I watched the Vice documentary on what was going on in Charlottesville. I bawled the whole time. I've never watched something like that. 'Cause, I've seen videos of protests and whatnot before, but I've never seen something like that opened my heart. And literally, I felt like I had just gone through a breakup. That's how my heart felt. I called my friend and I'm like, it hurts. Like, it legitimately hurts. And so just being aware that, again, once you open all this up, you are going to feel more deeply. And so that is the agreement, that if you want this and if you want to continue moving forward, you have to be aware that you are also committing and signing up to feel pain, and that it's okay, because like I said, the pain is just the pain. So you will feel it, but you will get better at not allowing it to fully affect you in a way that's going to be debilitating. And that's the empowerment. That's the strength. That's the not being afraid of pain. That's the courage of stepping into intimate relationships, not partnerships, but intimate relationships with others, that you can see and honor and love each other more clearly. Because the more you see and honor and love yourself on a much deeper level, that is, again, the beauty that opens up for all of us. And so I do want to let you all know that we are going to be taking a little bit of a break, probably in like half an hour, just at the halfway point. So I just want to let you know we can do a bio break if you need water, go to the bathroom, whatever. That's going to be included here. But connecting in again with your heart space, acknowledging and agreeing consciously, knowing and not knowing what you are signing up for. Some of the things that I've looked at for myself is, would I have said yes to this path if I would have known what I would be enduring? I don't know, honestly. In the beginning, Nikki, like you're saying, that self-doubt coming up, I don't know. And I think that's why the angels don't let us, and our guides and our own consciousness and our own higher self, I think that's why we're not allowed to see beyond. I honestly, when I look, I can't even see my life beyond like 9 months. I can see like 9 months, and then it's just like, okay, then I have life. But I can't see past that. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can still kind of see the layout for the next 9 months. And part of that is because I have like my business plan laid out. I've got all these things, but there's a beauty in not knowing. And the beautiful thing about that is that I really do believe that if I was to see my life in 5 years' time, if you, each and every one of you, were to see your life in 5 years' time, do you not think that the you that you are right now would limit that? Because can you not project, from 9 months from now, you have no idea what kind of person you're going to be. Once you commit to the path of growth, you continue to grow and you continue to evolve and you continue to change. So the me that I am right now, to see where I could potentially be in 5 years, could seriously limit where the me from a year from now could see myself in 4 years. And so there's a beauty of the manifesting and the creating and having dreams and vision boards and seeing what you want and bringing them in. And I do fully 100% agree with visualization. It is an incredibly powerful tool. I've watched it work miracles in my own life. And always allow yourself to set that prayer for this or something better. Leave that open. Do not limit yourself. Honor that freedom within you that you can step forward into. Because there's so much more for all of us than what we can see right now. And sometimes it's easier for other people to see what we're capable of, other people to see our potential than it is for us. Isn't that funny how that happens? I know that happens for most of my students. I'm like, I can see it. I can see it. Now we'll just have to do like the statue of David and chisel it out. I know that it's there. So just some beautiful things to dive into for yourself of wonderment. I fully encourage you guys all to also daydream more. Daydream about what it is that you just like create a beautiful land in your head and in your heart. Create a beautiful life in your head and in your heart. What do you want your house to look like? What do you want your relationship to look like? What do you want your wardrobe to look like? What are the things that you want for yourself that are different from what they are now? And if you fully and totally in love all of these things that are going on for you now, then beautiful. Work on a different area of your life. Maybe you want to create a fulfilling career. It's never too late to do that. It's never too late to shift gears and jump on a different sort of train than you were on before. So knowing and acknowledging that we have the power to change. We have the power to transform. We have the power to see the power within ourselves. And yes, self-doubt, fear, beliefs of our own self-worth that have been described from other people telling us that they can't see how cool we are because they can't see how cool they are. So we get to define our self-worth. And this does not come from a place of ego or arrogance. This comes from a place of heart-centered knowing. It is my full belief that there is space in this universe for each and every single one of us to grow into our maximum potential, our maximum capacity. That space is already created. It's already there, and it's up to us to step into it. It's up to us to claim our birthright. It's up to us to consciously step into it. And this is one of my biggest breakthroughs that I had like 2 weeks ago. And it's thrilling and it's so exciting because the path is already laid out for us once we commit in our heart to say yes and to surrender to the divine will of our own creator and the divine will of our own higher self. Which, if you're anything like me, I am super stubborn and really strong-willed. So it has been really hard for me to learn those lessons. Really hard. And I am still learning them. And still, last night, I affirmed to myself, I surrender to the divine will of God. I surrender to the divine will of my higher self because that's what feels right to me. That's what feels good to me in my heart. And that is also what I do think. That's one of my biggest secrets. That is what I do think is why I have grown as quickly as I have. And Leah, you've been in my circle for a while now, and it's like there's things that have shifted. Even Randy has mentioned like the growth that he's witnessed within me are things that he himself has wanted. And I have other clients that have said this. And this is how I've gotten there. This is how I've done it, is by completely surrendering. You have to be willing to sacrifice everything. Everything. The relationship you're in now, the house you're in now, the pets you have now, the job you have now, the car you have now, all of these things that are outside of you. You have to be willing to sacrifice the self-doubt. You have to be willing to sacrifice the fear. You have to be willing to step into yourself with full courage and full knowing that you are committing to yourself. Now, when I say that, it triggers a lot of people. They're like, well, I like everything that I've already created. And it's like, okay, well, then you can stay there. And that's totally okay. Nobody here is measuring anything. Nobody here is saying you have to do anything. But when you look at the sacrifices of what it is that you want, and Julie, I think that what it is that's going on in your life is a perfect and prime example, because everything has to be uprooted. And you've been going through this uprooting process, so allowing everything to be uprooted. It's like tilling the garden. You have to uproot and till what was there and what does not work anymore in order to plant a new garden. It's the exact same thing. There's changes in our life that happen where all of a sudden everything has to change And sometimes it's one thing at a time, which is really nice and wonderful. That's when the universe is being nice to us. And sometimes it literally is like, full chaos and life just goes bananas. And so it happens either way. And it is not supposed to feel wonderful. And it is not supposed to feel like you're on a gondola in Italy. It is not supposed to feel that exciting, because you do not grow through that, I just want to be here where I am. And there's nothing wrong with that. Also, if what you're bringing to the planet is joy, if you're so ecstatic and happy of where you are in your life, that what you're exuding and bringing and emanating is happiness and joy, because you really are genuinely happy with everything that's going on, then that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I personally am not there. There's a lot of things that I can see in my life that I'm tolerating. And tolerating is our own number one block. There's behavior patterns in my life, choices I am making that I am tolerating, that I know are not good for me. And I am working on breaking them, which is why I'm on day 8 of a cleanse. Raw food, vegan, like all of it cleanse. And I wanted to break the physical habits that I was doing that I knew weren't good for me, and that I know aren't good for me, because I want to shift and change my habits. I'm using myself as an example because I know that there's a reflection in that for all of you. I know that there are things that we do, whether it's like binge eating a bunch of sugar. I'm a serious eater of chocolate when I am stressed. And I stress a lot. So I eat a lot of chocolate. Granted, I buy myself really, really good chocolate because I feel better about it. But there's other certain things. And sometimes for me, that slips into patterns of drinking that I have had a history of in my life, of a problem with alcohol. And so these are things that I know they're not meant to be there at all. They're not meant to be there. So for me, making a big shift, a huge shift of completely purging sugar and carbs and meat and literally everything but green vegetables out of my life for 10 days is something that for me helps me to check in. So that's an example of sacrificing sugar, sacrificing caffeine, sacrificing any sort of joy that we get from what it is that we put into our bodies. Even the pleasure of eating meat because it tastes good. I like eating vegetables, but it's not the same. Let's just get real for a second on that one. It's not. And so that's an example of sacrificing everything. It doesn't have to be major. Some of it can be minor, but in order to gain clarity, sometimes what we have to do is sacrifice what we have to see what fits, what we want back. For me, I'm pretty sure I'm committed to just cutting cane sugar. There's other natural sugars. Once I do that, it's like, okay, I don't want the sugar anymore. I really don't need caffeine either. I'm a maniac when I drink caffeine. Leah, you've seen it once. I just like, I can't form sentences. It just like, blah, 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 blah. Might as well be running laps around everything. It's crazy. So again, I'm using myself as an example for you to like do some digging into what is it that you're doing that is harming your temple, your physical body, because this is your vessel. This is a vessel that you get that is like your car. Your car needs to get its oil changed. Your car needs tire rotations. Your car needs attention. Your body needs attention. Your body needs oil changes. Your body needs cleanses. Your colon, your intestines, they need a break too every now and then so that you can clear and clean them out. So processed foods, processed meats, they're yummy and they're not good for us. So being aware, what is your consumption? What is it that you're eating? The more, I will guarantee you, the more sensitive you get, the more aware you are going to be of your food. You can try to eat food that is of lower vibration and it will make you sick. That's another thing I wish somebody would have told me ahead of time, because now there's just things that I can't eat. My grandma gets mad at me because I don't want to eat at Denny's with her. I just can't my physical body, like I get sick for like 3 or 4 hours afterwards. The vibration of the food, where it comes from, how it's farmed, how it comes to our table, all of that. We must start to be aware of it. And for some of us, it's a process that's a 1, 2, 3, and sometimes it just takes a little bit longer. For me, honestly, it's taken about 7 years for me to fully get to the point where I am now. And I still have room to grow on that. But being gentle and easy with yourself and just becoming more and more aware every day. Doesn't have to be a massive shift, but just becoming more and more aware every day is going to get you to a place of being able to be aware and conscious of the food that you're putting in your body. All right. So are we ready for another just about 20 to 25-minute meditation? Then we'll take a break, or does anyone need to do a bio break now? We good? Okay. So we're going to dive in again. Go ahead and check in with yourself and your meter of receiving. When you're looking at your gauge and you see where you were an hour ago, and you check in with yourself and you see where are you now? Looking at that gauge and acknowledging that even in a very short period of time, you've been able to shift your openness and your ability to receive. Sometimes this meter is much different than it is in other times, meaning you're more willing to receive love or kindness or compassion from one person than you are from another person. And so what if you open that up within yourself and gave yourself permission to receive love in all ways at all times? Recognizing, knowing that love does not come at a cost. Real, true, authentic, genuine, unconditional, compassionate love does not come at a cost. And if there are people around you that offer you their love at a price or at a cost, check in with yourself. What does that mean? Are they really and truly your friend? Can you acknowledge them with beauty and love and compassion to recognize that the way that they are giving you love is simply in the way that they have learned? So how have you learned to give love? How have you learned to share the energy of love from your heart? And where have you learned to hold back? The chambers of your heart are meant to be open. And repeat within your own head, I allow the chambers of my heart to open. I allow the chambers of my heart to open in ease and grace. I allow the chambers of my heart to release memories of pain. I acknowledge that the purpose of these memories is to protect me. And I surrender this protection to allow myself to receive love more fully and more completely. I allow the chambers of my heart to open, to release. I allow the chambers of my heart to be kind to my expression of love. I am heart strong. I am heart ready. I am heart strong. I am heart ready. I allow myself the freedom to feel deeply, even if these feelings are painful. I allow myself to feel deeply, even if these feelings are painful. I embrace my internal pain and allow it to move through me. I embrace my internal pain and I allow it to move through me. Again, I embrace my internal pain and I allow it to move through me. I am heart strong. I am heart ready. I am heart strong. I am heart ready. Allowing yourself to connect in with your root chakra, your grounding cord, all the way down to the center of the planet. If you're feeling that that grounding cord needs to be assisted, go ahead and allow that root or that center of the planet, allow that energy to come to connect in with your grounding cord. And breathe. And breathe. Watching as that energy comes through from the crown of your head, down through the length of your spine, down to your root chakra, and all the way down to the center of the planet. You are conditioning your heart as you would in cardio. You are conditioning your heart space, your fourth chakra, to also influence the balance of all of your other chakras. So bring your conscious awareness from your heart chakra down to your third, which is right there below your rib cage, that pocket above your navel, your sacral chakra right there below your navel, then your root chakra down at the base of your spine. Bring your conscious awareness and attention to your throat chakra located at the center of your throat, to your third eye, your sixth chakra, also to your crown chakra. Watch and just simply observe as you give yourself permission to allow the energy of your heart space, the energy of your heart chakra, to balance and heal the energy in your other body chakras. And simply trust that your energetic body knows how to heal itself. You have this information within you. You, as an energetic spirit body, have this information within you. So allow it to be released. Just notice, what are the body sensations? And so is it possible for you to connect in with that space in your back between your shoulder blades, recognizing that your shoulder blades are your physical wings? You can roll your shoulders back and forth if that feels good and if that feels right for you. Roll your head, your neck, opening that space in between, stretching out your neck. Bringing yourself into full love with yourself. Connecting back in with the energy of your heart. Recognizing that the energy of your heart is here to be a transmitter and a transmuter, meaning your heart as a transmitter will attract the people who are of your like energy, meaning your soul family, your soul beings, your soul council, the soul family that is here in the body, and the soul family that is outside of the body. As you took the agreement to step into this human earth world, you also took the agreement with a council of beings that were there with you. They agreed to watch you. They agreed to protect you. They agreed to help you find your way through this earthly plane. You may give them permission to help you by consciously choosing. Check in with yourself and see, do they have permission to influence your life without your permission by use of your free will? Your free will is determined by you. You are in control of your choices. That is the one thing on this planet, in this world, that you do have 100% full and complete control of. You have control of your choices. How do those blockages show up for you? Go ahead and give yourself a nice big golden sun, recognizing and acknowledging that you are releasing an extraordinary amount of energy. You are purging and releasing an extraordinary amount of energy. So allowing yourself to settle, allowing yourself to just be connected. And as you bring in this higher vibrational frequency, allow this golden sun to collect any and all of your energy from past lives, from future lives, from past memories, from future plans, allowing yourself to be collected from any and every person you may have interacted with and left your energy with. Call your energy back in the here and now. Bring your energy to you, to your heart space. Honor yourself with the utmost integrity. Honor yourself with the utmost respect. That you, as an angelic being in a physical body, are worthy of divine love. That you are worthy of divine information. That you are worthy of divine respect. And it's up to you to call that in your life. Where are you being disrespected? Where are you being looked down on? Where are you being condescended to? And feel. And feel. And take a deep breath and bring that energy into your heart space. Allow your heart to transmute that energy into the understanding that you are worthy of divine love, that you are worthy of divine respect, that you are worthy of divine attunement, that the love that you have for yourself will emanate, and it will show others how to love you. It will show others how to treat you, and it will show others how to respect you. Bringing yourself back to your intention for this class. Allowing yourself to be brought back into your intention for this class. Have you fulfilled that intention? And give yourself permission to create a new intention, or to re-up the intention that you've used. If you would like to re-intend, bring that one back in again and shift your intention, you are welcome to do so. But recognize that with new information and with new knowledge comes new intentions, comes new direction, comes new paradigms, thought patterns, realizations, openings, breakthroughs, transformation. That you yourself are capable of so much more than you right now are giving yourself credit for, and it's up to you to claim your spot. You may follow yourself. You may follow the divine will of God, however you see that energy. That you may set yourself free with this simple intention that you're willing to sacrifice everything you've created for yourself in this life. Knowing that God has a much, much, much bigger plan, that you yourself as your higher self, your higher being, has a much, much, much bigger plan for you, that you may step into it. As Marianne Williamson that said, it is not our biggest fear that holds us back, but rather our greatest fear is of our light, is of our greatest potential. So acknowledge, what is more fearful? Stepping into your potential, or living your life exactly as it is now? And acknowledge, which pain are you more willing to endure? Which joy are you more eager to experience? Is there fear coming up of the unknown? Allow it to come up, allow it to reside in your heart space, and allow your heart space to transmute that energy from fear into love. Place both hands over your heart. Repeat, I love you, 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 I love you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. And again, breathe, releasing any energy that's shooting up from your heart out of your crown. Allow that to happen. Allow it to flow out of your crown, creating a torus or a donut around your body, tucking that energy into your grounding cord and allowing it to release. Knowing that there are many ways that you can release energy from your body. So go ahead and one more time, connecting with the energy of your crown. Getting a nice big giant golden sun for yourself. That golden sun above the crown of your head, collecting any and all of your energy. When you're ready, take a nice big deep breath. Allow that golden sun, that golden light energy to come in, filling your entire physical body as well as your entire energetic body. Allow that to flow down through your root chakra, down through your grounding cord, healing your connection with the center of the earth. Go ahead, through your neck, side to side. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Acknowledging that you just embrace yourself in trance space. That you let yourself go deeply to heal yourself on a soul level. Congratulations, you're doing a wonderful and beautiful and great job. Yay. So let's go ahead and just check in with each other before we take a break. I know I'm still feeling a little woohoo. So let's talk to each other before we go run around our house for a minute. Leah, how is that for you?
There you go. Okay. Oh, it was good. There were distractions, so I had to move so I could stay centered. I really liked, I've heard this before, and I guess I just wasn't able at the moment to connect with that idea, but I was today. It's the recollecting your energy from past life, forward life that you had given away, and calling it back to you. I really thought that I was able to do that today, and it was empowering, and it really created a lot of self-love. And so when you had us tell us, you know, I love myself in the past, that always made me cry, like from pain. But today I felt really, truly that I loved myself, and it was a good feeling. So that was really nice. Yeah, like I've grown in that aspect, and so I feel good about that. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. I love hearing that. And yeah, isn't it amazing how that energy can shift in our lives? You can actually start to feel your self-love.
Yeah.
Or it was like, okay, these are words. These are words.
Yeah.
And go through the motions. Being able to feel it and call it in, it's so, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing better. There'd be a lot of
good
to dive into that.
Uh-huh.
And I love to hear that for you too.
Yeah, it was good. It makes me in my head I was like, no one's ever gonna step on me ever again because I love myself. You know?
It's true. Your tolerance for other people's BS and your tolerance for because the way that people treat you quite literally is a reflection of the way they treat themselves.
Yeah.
And so it allows you to be able to not take things so personally, because it just frees you up.
Yeah.
And yeah, that value of self-love, there literally is nothing more valuable that I have learned. Nothing. If you have that, then you pretty much have everything you need.
Yeah. Yeah, that self-reflection is what people are giving back to you.
Yep.
Made a lot of sense. And I was like, ugh. And it's one of those things that you like, and you know, if you're in therapy, they're um, like you say, if you are angry with someone for doing something, it's a reflection of yourself. And then, ta-da, put it together today, you know, how you emanate from your heart is what you receive. And it was like those two fit together so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you on that completely.
Yeah. Just makes me feel like I'm going to be able to go forward easier.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And that really is my intention, to be able to help just each and every one of us, recognizing that as we take those steps and as we move ourselves forward, we can do it with more ease and we can do it with more grace, because the path becomes less daunting. Like the challenges that we were afraid of in the beginning now become more easy.
Yeah.
And then as we gain the strength and as we just gain the intention and the awareness within ourselves, we can tune in to seeing ourselves more clearly. And once that process starts to happen, like you are saying, the people that are in our lives change, the relationships that are in our lives change, and people start to treat us differently.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it's also because your shift and your change is a reflection of who they can't be.
Yeah.
And that will then also start to trigger them.
Oh, yeah.
Like your genuine happiness, no one can take that away from you unless you let them.
Yeah. It's true. You're in your driver's seat, you know? You've got the wheel.
It is. And those people show up in only the way that they're able to give and receive. And as we say, those people recognize that we are also those people in other people's lives. So we only show up for our family, our friends, our loved ones in the way that we love ourselves, in the way that we can express joy and love and intimacy within our own skin. And so that's something that can create a shift of awareness as well, is recognizing how is it that we show up. And that, I mean, that can also change everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing, Leah. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy I'm here too.
Yay. Beautiful. All right. And how about Julie? Would you like to share with us? There we go. I unmuted you.
Okay. That was interesting in that meditation, and I'm still feeling, but I started feeling a lot of physical tingling behind my eyes, like the nerves in the back of my eyes, kind of spasming and tingling. And when I was going inside myself, closing from the outside and being inside my vessel, it's sort of the opposite, because inside the space is infinite. So feeling the outside space so limited, and every time I switch into that internal space, it's just so endless. It was sort of like echoey, or there is no border. So I was like, wow, this is cool to be here.
Yay. I love to hear that. And it's also an interesting, like, direct reflection of like what's going on in your housing situation right now, is that if your physical space feels limiting, and that when you go within, it feels completely expansive and completely open, to me, that's a beautiful indicator that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Because when our physical space is beautiful and when we love being in our physical space, I notice for myself, I spend less time going within. It's like, you set me up in line at the DMV, or you set me up in line with someplace that, like, I don't want to be. a dentist waiting room or something, I can close my eyes and go within and explore my own world, and it's so much more fun. But like, let's say I was just recently at the I didn't go in, but the Chihuly Gardens in Seattle, which is like a glass art museum. And when you're in that space and everything outside of you is beautiful, then you don't reflect, you don't go in, because you have so many distractions. You have so many of these other stimuli that's happening around you that doesn't really offer room for you to go within and see how beautiful the reflection is inside. And that freedom, that bliss that you're experiencing right now, again, that's something that nobody can take away from you. You are the one that creates your own openness, and you are the one that creates your own blocks around that.
And when you were talking about when we were choosing to come into this incarnation, the tribe that stood with us at that time, I really was seeing a sense of them, and I've always known and felt that there. But you know, I'm such a individual, push myself forward through everything. If I have fear, then I have to leap into it, because my greater fear is to not. And so they mostly sort of stand back and watch me, because, you know, I'm just going to charge through, and realizing that's okay. But I can invite and accept support and assistance with it. So when I opened that, it was like a floodgate rush to, yay, you know, we can help, we can be a part of it. So it's exciting to see what that is going to shift, because that energy with me now is just so expanded. So that makes me cry right now to think about that.
I love yours. I love them. Beautiful. I remember the first time I met my spirit council and my spirit family consciously, and remembering and connecting with them, and it changed my life. It changed everything about my life. And now I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing and pushing myself as far as I'm pushing myself if I didn't know that that support existed. I feel so much more confident knowing that I have that spirit family and that spirit council that you've just connected with. I know that I can be unstoppable. It's up to me to say, okay, let's push the brakes, or let's slow this down. But I know that with them there with me and them supporting, the beautiful thing about it is, like, they'll clear channels. They will clear channels in your life so that you and I can be connected. They will clear channels for people that are traveling to come to become, so that they don't have obstacles and they can make it there. They will do all of these things, outside things that I have control over. They'll even clear internet channels so that people will find me that are meant to find me. And all of these things that I cannot do, that I as a single individual human being cannot do. And so when you connect in with them, you can ask them, one, what is it that they can offer you? What is it that they can do for you or to support you? And you can also delegate tasks that come up for you. And chances are they already know those tasks, that they exist, that they can do it. And so being able, like you're saying, I often say that I'm independent to a fault, that my independence can actually get in my way. For sure gets in my way in relationships, but it can get in my way more than it can really be an attribute sometimes. There's a light and a shadow to it. And I'm hearing kind of the similar match for you, is that your independence is, I can do it, and not receiving support. And when you have that support, look at how much more capable you are of doing things for you in your life. You can have them help you find the right career. You can have them help you find the right employer. You can have them help you find the right employees, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is you're creating. Those lines already exist, and they can bring them to you.
Yes.
Are you familiar with any of Dolores Cannon's work?
No.
Write down her name and just kind of explore. She's written something like 37 to 40 books, and they're all thick. They're like Harry Potter thick books of transcriptions that she does of her quantum healing hypnotherapy classes. Her books changed my life. They had I know I keep saying change my life all the time because my life is constantly changing, but her books brought to me so much freedom because I could actually see that somebody else was experiencing and seeing the things that I was already seeing and experiencing and feeling. And so it made me feel like I wasn't a crazy pants and that I actually was able to see things that were real. And they can be a little bit challenging to read because you're reading transcriptions, but the stories of healing and instantaneous breakthroughs and all these incredible things that she offers are beautiful. One that we read in book club last year was Keepers of the Garden, and it was absolutely, it was incredible. It was so good and so incredible. So
I'll look at it. I wrote it down.
yeah, Dolores Cannon. She's got series of The Convoluted Universe and 3 Waves of Volunteers, and then Keepers of the Garden. I've read one of the Convoluted Universe series, half of 3 Waves of Volunteers, and Keepers of the Garden. And they're all, like, I read a chapter and then I have to set it down. I'm like, okay, that's enough for one day. That's plenty for one day. So they are dense. There is a lot of information in them, but it will open your mind, it'll open your heart, it'll open your understandings of what's possible. She goes to different planets, she communicates, different star families will come through, different alien beings, different super conscious. I don't know if she necessarily works with angels. I'm sure she does, she just doesn't talk about it. But there's all sorts of really incredible things that are in her books.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, Nikki, how was that one for you? Let me go ahead and unmute you here real quick. There we go. All right, so how was that for you?
I felt pressure.
And where did
Just
you feel pressure?
in my heart.
Okay.
Just heavy pressure. I think it has to do with self-love.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like with Leah, I felt the same story with her, but I have that, I need more self-love. I need to bring up my standards. You know what I mean? My standards are always too low. I'm more of a people pleaser. So I just felt very heavy, and I need to let that go.
Yep. Nikki, you
Love.
are incredibly gifted. Do you know that?
That's what they tell me.
So you don't know that?
Yeah, that's what people tell me, but then I doubt myself.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you are incredibly gifted. As we were going through that, I was downloading information of what it is that you're here to do. And I know that you haven't even stepped into it. I know, like Leah I've been working with for a while. She was in my book club last fall. So that's when we met. Julie and I met probably around the same time, around winter time, I think. And so I know them, and I know a few of the other people who have registered, but with you, this is the first time that we've interacted. And so I know that there's an extraordinary amount of depth to what it is that you are here to learn. And there's extraordinary amount of depth to what it is that you're here to uncover. And I love that you acknowledge that you are a people pleaser and that you're doing these things for others. I'm not surprised that you're injured right now. I'm not surprised that you're not able to like do the things that you're normally to do. It's my belief that when that happens, that's the universe, that's our guides, that's our internal self saying, okay, check it. You got to check what's going on in your life. You like have to check it and do a reset and look at what is it that you actually want and what is it that you want to create and who is it that you want to surround yourself with. Because there are people here around us, even us here on this call and in the groups that we're creating, the communities, that are here to love you and that are here to lift you up and are here to acknowledge your gifts. And like I said, it took me 1.5 years to come out to my family that I was doing psychic stuff. So I understand. And what I will say is that we don't have to tell anybody about what it is that we're doing until we feel unwaveringly confident that what it is that we're doing is right in target. Because if you start talking about it before you have moved out of doubt and before you've moved out of fear, anything that somebody else says that is a disbelief or like, oh, you're crazy, it will shatter your progress. And so it's important to be able to cultivate your energy and to cultivate what it is that you're doing until you know. And you can ask your guides to show you signs that they're around you. You can ask for validation. You can ask for the support that is around you that is going to help you build that confidence so that you.
And do you know they have done that?
Okay.
And they have done that, and they have shown me in ways that I could not even come up with.
Yep.
So they're talking to me, and I know it.
Yep. Yeah, I have no doubt whatsoever that you are that you're here learning with us for a very specific reason, because you know that it's time.
Yeah, I do.
Like, you danced around it long enough. You know that it's time to step into it. And even if that just means like doing 3-card readings with your friends, or, you know, just playing with them, but more doing it with other people, it just getting yourself out there, because it's time. The world needs us. Look around. This place is like, we're losing our shit right now. Somebody's got to at least try to keep some sort of momentum moving in the light way. And that's like, I used to shy away even at the word light worker, because I was like, what does that even mean? And in these last few months, I have seen so much more clearly what it means to be a light worker. My event Become is happening in a casino in Reno, Nevada, which does not have a sterling reputation of light and metaphysical awakening, right? It's like the polar opposite. The reason I decided to host it at a casino, not somewhere else, but at a casino, is because I know that just me being there and just our group being there, the energy that we are going to be working in that room is going to have a mass effect on every single person that is in that building and outside of that building. The ripple effect of what it is that we're doing is going to be something that will change and transform people on an unconscious level. They will feel the vibrational frequencies shift in their heart space. They'll feel the awakening in a different way, and they won't know what happened to them. They won't know that they were in the building while Become was happening. But that is why I'm hosting it at a casino. And so that's where I'm telling you, like, you're in the right place. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Your friends are exactly the right friends. Your family is. And you are the one. You are that golden nugget. You are that event in your life that's going to bring that light to the people that are around you. And I'm speaking to Nikki, but I'm speaking to everybody that's listening, because that is how the planetary grid works. The planetary grid isn't straight lines as we like to think and see them as, but we are connecting these lines. Nikki, where is it that you live?
In Orange County, New York.
In Orange County.
So it's not New York City, but it's New York State.
You are farther away than I thought. For some reason, I thought you were in Texas.
I wish.
I
was born in Texas.
Oh, that might have been why I just assumed you were in Texas. I don't know why. So funny. New York. That is cool. We got New York in the house. I've never been.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep. But same goes for all of us. Anywhere we travel, anywhere we do anything, like, we bring our light to those places, because there's so much darkness. So we can be that flashlight, and we don't have to do it with our words. We can do it with our actions, and we can do it with our intentions. We don't have to clean up in front of everybody. We don't have to, bring the word of God and start, chanting and doing all that stuff. We don't have to do that. We can clear and clean energy quietly and silently until people are ready to hear us. Because sometimes it's easier to just work behind the scenes than to face the extreme judgment until there's cracks in the judgment. Once there becomes cracks in the judgment, we can start to shine that light in. But until there's no need for us to start banging on doors that are locked, as far as I'm concerned. Go where you are celebrated, not where you are tolerated. It's one of my mottos. Go where people love you, go where people admire you, not where they judge you and tolerate your existence. I like that for life. to see
I
that
like that.
of love constantly being like shown back at you. The comments that I receive in the Daily Sunshine and in the Intuitive Connection Academy, literally that is what keeps me going. The reflection that I see from others that admire the work that I'm doing. I don't know how long I would be doing it if that wasn't happening. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
how if there's no traction and there's no response, how could I really continue to just be like, I'm on a one-woman mission. I am on a one-woman mission, and now I've got a team. And now it's not about me. It's not about me at all anymore. I'm just stepping into the role that I know that I came here to play.
One step at a time.
Yep. That's my other favorite motto, one step at a time. I had a vision one time that I was like sitting on the ground, and there was a door that was way, way, way up in the sky. And so this door that was way up into the sky, I knew that I had to get to it, but I didn't know how. And so this steel beam that they use like to make big giant skyscrapers, this steel beam started moving through the sky. And so I knew that I had to jump on it. And as I jumped on it, it got to a halfway point where it was halfway between the earth and halfway between the door. And I was wondering, like, what is this about? What is this metaphor? And it was my guide saying, look, we're not going to show you how you are going to get there. We're not going to show you the whole path, but just trust that we are going to get you there. And so the trust was me jumping on that beam, knowing that I would get where I was meant to be safely without falling off, or without the beam going backwards, or without the beam leading me into a place that would be destructive. But I just had to trust that stepping onto that beam, I would be held, I would be carried, I would be safe. I haven't always been the me that you're seeing right now. I used to be a black on black on black on black, heavy dark black eyeshadow, listening to super heavy dark dubstep music, doing way too many drugs for my own good, drinking way too heavily for my own good. And part of it is because when I was younger, I started waking up to my gifts and I didn't know how to manage them. I didn't know how to understand them. And I was in such excruciating pain because of my childhood relationship with my mother, that I didn't know how to find my way out. The reason I teach transformation is because I have been through extreme transformation myself. I literally have sacrificed everything that I've ever had over and over and over again to get to the next step, to get to the next level. And I feel like I'm literally on the precipice of that again. And it's scary and it's so much fun. How many of you are like furniture rearrangers or room rearrangers? Do you like to rearrange your furniture a lot, or does it have to be the same? Leah, it has to be the same? Yeah, see, Nikki, I'm like, I gotta rearrange my room. Like my room has got to be rearranged like
yeah.
any sort. And now what's funny is that I've kept my room the same for like over a year and a half now, and that has never happened for me. But I've kept it the same because there's been so much other change happening in my life. But when I was little, the change that I could control was rearranging my bedroom. And I loved it. I loved the change. I love the movement. So beautiful. Well, let's go ahead and take, let's say about a 7-minute break. I'm just going to kind of run to the bathroom, stretch my legs a little bit, and we'll just come back. We'll do our final meditation and final prayer, and then close this out. How's that feel for everyone?
Good.
All right. I'm just going to leave this. Actually, no, I'm going to stop recording, but I'm going to leave this set up. So this last portion of our class, I really want to connect in with the actual images, the actual sensations, and the actual feelings of finding your wings. Because as we've talked about the energetic parts of what that means and how we can connect in with ourselves, there's a very distinct part of this that actually comes with the physical visualization of seeing your wings behind your back. Now, when I first witnessed and first saw my wings, as I mentioned, it was a very intense emotional sensation. It was a very intense emotional purge. What I mean by that is because the memories that started to surface of being with my my star family or my soul family before taking this body, literally agreeing, okay, I'm going to be in this body, I'm going to come into this point of the earth, all these things that happen and that go in, that there is divine order to what seems like chaos or spontaneity. And when I started to recognize and when I started to really connect in with the angelic realm, the memories of home became excruciatingly painful. The memories of home, like all I wanted to do was be home. All I wanted to do was like, why am I in this body? I never really considered, the idea of suicide, but the idea of not wanting to be in a body crossed my mind many, 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 many times. And I go through phases. Like right now, I haven't had those ideas in a really long time, but every now and then something will happen that will trigger those memories, and I'll start to feel that way again. And so I just bring that into it because that to me is as bad as it gets. That to me is like the lowest of the low of what I don't want to feel, of what becomes unbearable, and it's still bearable. And so I just want to share with you that if there's anything to be afraid of, for me, that's as bad as it's gotten. And I say it with words here and now, but going through the experience is much different. The other thing is, as I mentioned, feeling the pain and sadness of the world. That you start to be able to actually connect in with the collective unconscious and seeing how people are hurting or harming themselves and each other. And so that's the part that becomes even more excruciating because you have no control over it. There's nothing that you can do, yet you can feel this pain and you can feel this sadness. And so what is our immediate reaction is, let's disconnect. I'm going to scroll on Facebook, or I'm going to go get drunk at the bar, or I'm going to eat this entire bag of M&Ms or whatever it is that we do to make ourselves feel better, to numb these feelings or sensations that start to take place. And so just being aware that sitting with the experience is the best way to have it pass through, because it's all fleeting. It's all momentary. Everything that you experience will pass. And so letting that energy just like, cycle through is going to be very simple and is going to be very easy once you learn how to just simply sit and release. Now, the moment of connecting in with your wings isn't rocket science. It isn't anything that is complicated. It literally is simply, and I'll walk us through this in meditation, but it literally is simply acknowledging behind you. I don't know if any of you have seen What the Bleep Do We Know, but they have this scene in that movie or in that documentary. I don't know if it's a documentary, but where they mentioned that the Indians could not see the ships as they were coming in. And they say that they could not see the ships because they didn't know that ships existed. They did not know what ships were. And so they didn't see the ships as they were coming in until they got there, until humans were there, and until they were close. But they could not see it because they did not know. And so this is the same kind of concept. If you did not know that you had a third chakra, would you be able to see it? For some of us, yes. For some of us, no. But it's the same with the wings. Now, we know what wings look like because we've seen them depicted in movies. We've seen them depicted in art. We've seen them depicted on angel cards. So we've seen them and we know. So the connecting in with your wings really is simply a matter of seeing another part of your anatomy even more clearly. And so as you learn to more deeply connect with your energy body, and as you more deeply connect with your etheric body, you'll be able to start to see different things. Like there's different sort of parts of your third eye that then allows you to see things. And part of that is like a reading triangle, and part of it is a reading screen. Now you can do these things without knowing that they exist, and that's totally fine. But that's what I'm talking about, is that once you bring conscious awareness to it, you can start to clear the energy from them. And so the same is true for your wings. And what I noticed with my wings when I very first found them is that they were covered in a heavy, like really heavy, deep, black, icky kind of tar. And I couldn't stretch them out. I couldn't use them. They were just covered in this really icky black tar. I've seen them for people where one wing is completely torn off. I've seen them for people where they're like crooked and missing feathers. And so our wings go through damage. And our experience on this planet, in this body and in other lifetimes, contribute to that damage. And even between lifetimes, when we're not in a body, sorry, Loki just spazzed. But when we're not in a body, and we still go through these things. So now we have this opportunity where we can consciously heal our wings, and we can consciously connect in with them. It's similar, Nikki, with you with your hand broken, and it's like we have to give ourselves time to heal. Same with our wings. If there's anything wrong with your wings, or anything weighing them down, or they're broken, or something isn't working right, then those things need to be healed. For me, I use my wings in healings with other people. I use my wings to clear spaces and clear energy. I use my wings to own the energy of a room, to set and to set the tones and frequencies of a room that I want to set it at. It's taken me a year plus to be able to learn how to do that. Partly because there has been no information that I have ever found about what to do when you find your wings. And so all of this stuff has come through for me intuitively, based on what I have experienced in my own meditations and in my own journeys. And so that is the benefit of this, is that I could tell you right now, I have no right, wrong, ifs, ands, or buts answers for you. I can just simply share in my experience of what I have learned in introducing people to their wings, and in being able to connect in and learn from what my wings have to offer me. The other really fun thing about this is that I've witnessed that people have all different kinds of wings. Butterfly wings, fly wings, dragonfly wings, pterodactyl wings. I've seen large eagle wings, angel wings. I mean, any kind of wings that exist here on this planet, you can name it. Any sort of wings that exist elsewhere, I'm sure that also exists here too. So at this point, I feel that I'm still in a point of exploring what it truly means to be an earth angel, and bringing new awareness and new consciousness to the planet. I know that information is here. The term earth angels is not something new that I created by any means. But like I said, that information of how to connect with them. Yes, earth angels are in physical human bodies. We can touch them. We volunteered to be here. I know that all of you are part of that category because you're here, because there was a call, there was a resonance. You thought, oh, how to find your wings. That feels like that's meant for me. I want to do that. That right there for me is a solid 100% indicator that you are here as an earth angel to evoke your own healing and healing in others. So we're all in the right place. We're all just figuring out how to do this together. So the more you learn, the more you can share, the more you can learn, the more you can share from others as well. So I want to be sure that we have enough time. So we have about half an hour to dive into another meditation. And I'm going to just kind of set us off and send us off on that meditation, rather than doing a third round of check-ins, and just allow that third round of check-ins to be yours, to be your meditation space, to be yours to sink into and dive into what feels right for you. What is it that you want to bring to the world? What is it that you want to bring into your life? All of that. Give yourself a little bit of extra time when we sign off to stay in that trance space, to stay in that trance state with yourself, to explore your own inner working, so that you can explore your own inner breakthroughs. Because, you know, I'm here to guide, and I'm here to offer information. And it's up to you to implement and listen to yourself, because I can't tell you anything about you that you don't have access to already. Your information is within you. Your information lies within the center of your heart. So what I can do is teach you how to access that information. Beyond that, It's all to you, lady friend. Beautiful. All right. So, does anyone have anything that you'd like to say before we dive into the meditation? No? All right. Wonderful. Let's just kind of acknowledge each other in gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, ladies, for showing up. This is the first time I've offered a class like this, so I always appreciate the genesis of something new, the first. It's always so much fun, so I'm so glad you all are here. All right, so let's go ahead and close our eyes, check in with ourselves. So what does freedom mean to you? What does internal liberation mean to you? What within your heart space and your heart chakra can you release in this moment simply with the intention of, poof, let it be gone? The path of healing can truly be that simple. The path of healing can truly be bubbles leaving your body, an effortless ease and grace and wonderment as you observe yourself shifting into a new paradigm. As you can observe yourself awakening into your higher power, into your higher force. Yes, your inner mappings, your inner encodings are shifting. They are changing. They are transmuting and they are transgressing. Allowing yourself to surrender into that shift. Allow yourself to ease into that shift. Find your joy. Find your amusement. What is it that makes your heart sing? What is it that makes your heart happy? Feel into that feeling. How does your body feel as you go back to that memory of pure bliss? And ask your higher self, ask your guides, and ask your God for more of that feeling, for more of that sensation. I love you. And the true question is, do you love you? Connecting in with your self-love is the most powerful force of any sort of energy that you can connect in with. The reason for that being is that your spark of divine creation, the very particle, the essence of yourself that is a part of God, that is a part of the creation of all that is, no matter how you see that energy. But that spark lives and resides within your heart space. Your self-love will melt away any and all energy or blocks that are keeping you from feeling that energy. When you are fully and 100% connected in with your value of self-love, you will start to be able to see what it is that you can bring into your life that is going to bring you joy, abundance, prosperity, respect, friendships, community, integrity, honor, honesty, beauty, laughter, copious amounts of laughter. Your ability to enjoy life is your responsibility. Connecting in with your angel wings, connecting in with your reason for being, will change that. So take a moment, bring your awareness to your center of head if you weren't already there, that space right behind your eyes, between your ears, recognizing that you have 360 degrees of awareness, that you can see out the front of your third eye and you can see out the back of your third eye. That your scope of awareness and observation can continue to open as you continue to exercise this muscle. Muscle as an analogy for your abilities. So connect in with your wings. Feel them behind you. Acknowledge the new sensation that is behind you. Acknowledge the new sensation that you've always known to be there. Acknowledging the remembrance of your soul's path and of your soul's journey. Acknowledge the breakthrough of your soul's calling. Allowing your soul to speak loudly and allowing your soul to speak first in this moment. What is it that your soul has for you? You are not here to simply live and to die. But you are here to live and to experience and to learn and to heal and to grow. That as we have experienced lifetimes in the past that have shaped who we be today, we are, in fact, experiencing a lifetime that will shape who we be in the future. You have the power now to shape the existence and the experience of where it is that you are going and who it is that you are becoming. The truth of your journey and the truth of your beauty resides within you and nowhere else. You may see outward expressions of this. You may see inward expressions of this. But honoring yourself first and loving yourself first is your highest calling. That should you do nothing else on this earth but to love yourself unwaveringly 100%, to be easy on yourself, to find joy within your being, to release yourself of self-judgment or punishment, to live freely within your own skin. That freedom is not an outward expression of what you can say or do, but freedom is internal liberation from from your own confines of your heart, from the own confines of your soul, of your mind, the self-imposed limits that you yourself have created. Allow them to melt in this moment. Allow them to simply liquefy and settle down through your grounding cord, fueling once again Mama Gaia. Recognizing and knowing that she knows exactly what to do to transmute limits. Because Mama Gaia knows no limits, she knows no boundaries. She does not see state or country lines. She does not see skin color, race. She does not see religion as something to separate. Rather, Mama Gaia is whole and complete in the circumference of her being. Give yourself permission to remember. To remember the parts of your path that have not been so pretty. To remember the parts of your path that have caused harm. To remember parts of your path that have clear guidance for where it is that you are going. Acknowledging that every single aspect and every single part of you has a reason and a place for being. That your divine expression and that your divine potential is within you. It is not outside of you. It is nowhere for you to find. Rather, it is for you to discover. So give yourself permission, once again, to remember and repeat within yourself. I remember my reason for being. I remember the moment of conception. I remember choosing my parents. I consciously remember acknowledging my soul family. I consciously remember being an energetic form with my soul family. I allow myself to experience my soul family. I surrender to the support of my guides, of the angels, and of my soul family. I give the angelic realm full permission to show me my way in the highest and best for myself and for those around me. I ask for this growth to take place in ease, in beauty, in wonderment, and in play. And what is it that you want in your life? What is it that you're working for and working towards? Love yourself first and foremost and always. Forgive yourself for the things that you have done to create harm in your life. And connect in with your wings. Are they still there? Are they still there aside from all of these things that we have done, that we have sacrificed? Your wings will always be there. No one can take them away from you. Acknowledge what is it that you are tolerating in your life. And can you use the power and the energy of your wings to sweep that away, to sweep that out? Can you, in fact, honor yourself first by acknowledging that what it is that you are tolerating is not what is meant to be in your life, that is not serving you to your highest potential? And are you willing to sacrifice and release the things that you are tolerating so that you may step into your highest potential? So taking a deep breath, connecting in with your grounding cord. And connecting in with your golden sun. Bringing your golden sun into your body. So connect in again with your wings. What do they look like? Are they strong? Can they carry your body? Perhaps your body becomes weightless as you connect in with your wings. And ask your wings to show you what is it that they can do with you and what is it that they can do for you. Watch as you stretch out your right wing. Bringing healing energy to this wing. Is there any areas where this wing needs nurturing, needs love or support, needs attention? Go ahead and honor that part of your wing now. Go ahead and bring your right wing in. Go ahead and take a look at your left wing. Let it stretch out. Is there any energy there that does not belong? Is there any energy there that you can release and let go of? Is there any energy there that is not serving your highest potential or your highest good? Any area of that wing that could use some love? Recognizing that you have the ability to heal your wings. You have the ability to acknowledge your wings. In this moment, I'm using my wings to do long distance healing. So as you are open to receiving that, simply set that intention. Either a simple yes or no. Beautiful. Continue to breathe and continue to allow yourself to release. Checking back in with both of your right and your left wings. Spread one out and spread the other out. Spread them both out. Simply ask them to show you what you can use them for. So honoring and loving yourself for being here, for being a part of this experience. Honoring and loving yourself for saying yes to dedicating yourself to your path of awakening. Being patient with yourself as you step forward into the path of your highest potential. Stepping forward and loving yourself first and foremost. Go ahead and once again ask Archangel Michael to come in to the space with you, and rather than standing behind you, ask him to stand or sit with you in front of you. And allow him to be present in your life. And watch as the other archangels show up behind him. Archangel Raziel, Jophiel, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Raphael, and Ariel, Archangel Sandalphon and Chamuel. Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, the other archangels of the angelic realm, and the angels of the angelic realm, allowing them to be with us every step of the way, allowing them to be with you as you experience your highest and best, acknowledging and shedding light on every experience that you have, that every experience happens for you, not to you, that you have control of choosing the way that you react. You have the ability to choose the way that you experience, and that everything that happens in your life is happening to support your highest and best. So acknowledging yourself once again in full celebration and full ease for showing up and doing this work today. That we have the benefit, even if you're watching this later on, that we have the benefit of working with the eclipse window, the energy of Mercury retrograde that also allows anything that is planted to be forever changing, forever moving, forever growing. That your timing is always impeccable. With that, I love you. I encourage you to be in this space with yourself so that you may tune into your frequency and what is it that you most need in this moment. And perhaps you simply open yourself to receiving the healing, or perhaps you simply open yourself to receiving the information, the guidance, the self-love and compassion. With that, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I will be seeing you very soon.